If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check the referral links down in the description. They'll take you to g2a.com. They already have a discount on most of their goods already, and with the code CHES at checkout, you can get yourself an extra 3% off as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 66 of the Cambridge United Road to Glory here on FIFA 15. We're starting with a game at home against Sheffield Wednesday, a side that have kind of yo-yoed between the Championship and League One in recent years and obviously do have a very good heritage when it comes to the English leagues over the years. They were of course in the Barclays Premier League for a while a few years ago, but right now they find themselves in the Championship alongside ourselves. Now we're having to play a bit of a rotation side in this one thanks to the rather congested nature of the championship fixture list, which is something that hopefully, if we do get promoted into the Premier League, will be less of an issue next year, because of course you get 46 league games in the Football League, which we've had to encounter in League 2, League 1 and now the Champo. And of course, if we do get promoted, there are actually 8 less games domestically, with, of course, only there being 20 teams in the league rather than 24. So there's only 38 games to be played in the BPL, plus we won't be involved in Europe. So, you know, if we do go up, then we should have an okay fixture list. But we need to get there first. We need to make sure that we get enough points to get ourselves out of this league and up into the next one. We get a great tackle by Lanzoni there, though. But unfortunately, the angle wasn't too tight for the man to be able to smash it in at the near post to make it Sheffield Wednesday 1. Cambridge United 0 after 16 minutes. And we were very close to have going 1-0 up ourselves at the other end, as you saw a little bit earlier on, with a wonderful save by Kieran Westwood. Reaction save to get it up onto the bar and then over the top of the goal. So we head into the second half. Bologna is obviously the youngster we've brought in on loan from West Brom. Now he's similar in stats and in build, etc. to our guy Fabian Caseda, who we bought in as a free agent, who's actually been very good indeed. So I was hoping Bologna could kind of fill that role. And obviously Tom Elliott, we've mentioned so far this year, is struggling to kind of keep up with the play at this level. He obviously scored us loads of goals in League 2 and League 1. But it appears that the Championship is a step too far for Tom Elliott, so we'll be in the summer looking to, or in the January window rather, looking to move him on and use that money to help build the squad elsewhere. But Bologna's involved here, setting up Michael Woods. Decent shot, and again a good save by Kieran Westwood to get down low, shows good reactions to get it up over the bar and out for a corner. The question is, can we get anything from this corner, unlike we did in the first half? The answer is yes. Jordan Graham goes up to win the header. Kieran Westwood this time doesn't quite show the reactions that he did to get the ball away for the corner in the first place, and it's 1-1 thanks to that header from Jordan Graham, who doesn't see too much first team football here. Obviously, I tend to play my own players rather than those that are on loan. So O'Halloran and Jenkins Chikawi have been the players, as you see O'Halloran here having his shot well saved again. They tend to be the players that I start more so than the loan players. But it's nice for the loan players to come in when they're needed and have an instant impact, which is exactly what Jordan Graham did there. So we jump into the second game of the episode after getting ourselves a 1-1 draw against Wednesday. Away from home, down in London against Leyton Orient, a side that Cambridge have kind of done okay against in previous years, but obviously it's been a good decade since we've played them, and I remember going down to Leyton Orient with Cambridge about 12 years ago maybe now, when we were in the old Division 3 and giving them a decent game. I think we lost. I can't quite remember the result. It may even have been 1-0 to us. I genuinely cannot remember. It was that long ago. I just remember being there. But they've got Chris Dagnall up top, who is a very, very potent striker. Could cause us a few problems. But of course, we're back with our strongest side, as you can see. Fabian Caseda and Kwesi Appiah up top, with hopefully some goal-scoring intent. We'll see if they can do so in this game. Donaldson is involved immediately, plays through Kwesi Appiah. Nice turn inside the defender. He's going to get the drilled shot away, and the goalkeeper just made one step towards me as if he was going to come and close me down, and that's why I took the shot early with Kwesi, and that meant that the keeps didn't get his feet set and wasn't able to keep that out, despite the fact that it was kind of straight at him. So we're 1-0 up early on. Kwesi's involved again here, though. This time the goalkeeper does make a good save with his legs to get it around the post for a corner. Question is, can we get ourselves a goal from a corner in this game the same way we did in the previous game? It's going to be Jenkins Chikawi to whip it in rather than Michael Woods as it was previously, but this time O'Halloran gets on the header, and just as Jordan Graham, who replaced him in the previous game, scored a header from a corner, this time O'Halloran does as well, and they only just managed to squeeze in underneath the bar. Saw the man on the line, and he was just so close to jumping up and heading it clear, but unfortunately he wasn't quite tall enough, and it grazed the top of his head and the underside of the bar as he went in to make it Cambridge 2, Leyton Orient 0 in the opening few minutes, and Salah Soliman goes on a great run here, actually. The centre-back just kind of had enough of not really having much to do at the back and decided to get involved defensively. Sets up Ryan Donaldson, who's going to slot it underneath the goalkeeper to make it Cambridge 3, Leyton Orient 0 in just the 25th minute. Couldn't have asked for a better start to this game, to be completely honest. Now, another defender's had enough at the back. Greg Taylor's breaking into the box, pushing up from left-back. Sets up Casada, but a good deflection of the defender sends it onto the bar. And then, unfortunately, Greg Taylor can't capitalise with the rebound. And we stay at 3-0, unfortunately. The goalkeeper was able to get back to make a follow-up save. But Cuthbert's on the ball here for Leyton Orient. They were trying to get themselves back in the game if they could. Coulson just gets caught on it. And James's shot is well blocked by Salah Soliman, but they kept possession, works it around, and they're going to pick up a penalty here. And in the Liverpool career mode episode earlier on this afternoon, there were 2 or 3 different penalty decisions that could have gone either way and could quite possibly have just been judged as very good tackles. And this is another example of that. You see Lanzoni come through, clearly wins the ball. He must only have given it the referee because of the force of the challenge and because it was from behind. So Caseru's going to step up to try and take the pen for them. I'm trying my best to put him off with all the goalkeeping antics, but he just does not put him off at all. It's a wonderful penalty into the top right-hand corner. That makes it Leyton Orient 1, Cambridge 3. But we're going to try and push on and then put the game really to bed by getting a 3-goal advantage back again. Great feat by Casada. Slots it underneath the goalkeeper. And that is a very accomplished finish from a player that is very much so in form. And he's scoring goals left, right and centre for us right now, Casada. He and Kwesi Appiah have been banging them in this season. And they are the reason why we are where we are in the league right now. It's only a matter of time before their form dips. And when that does dip, it's going to be a bit of a concern because we haven't really been getting goals from elsewhere in the side, but we'll have to attack that situation when it arises. As you can see, this third game is first versus second in the league, so probably the biggest game of the season so far. Norwich, obviously a local-ish side to Cambridge, so they're travelling down from Norfolk into Cambridge here to take us on. We are starting at the same side that played against, or almost the same side that played against Leyton Orient and was so dominant. So I was be hoping that we can get another good performance in. And of course, we played Norwich twice in recent episodes earlier on this week in the Liverpool career mode series, and they seem to be a bit of a bogey side for me. We didn't perform well in any of the games against them, despite the fact that in one game we came away with a 4-1 win, but we'll try and do our best to get a positive result here against them, so fingers crossed we can, although they are a very good side, as we've seen in the other series. But Cameron Jerome goes on a nice run here, squares the ball across. I don't know how it's managed to make its way to Ricky Van Wolfswinkel in the first place, let alone how he's managed to miss at the back post when it has gotten to him. But that was kind of the only chance of the first half. It was a very quiet first period. Kwesi's going on a fantastic run here, though. Sets up Ryan Donaldson, but unfortunately his first touch lets him down. But we do keep possession through Tom Elliott, who had to come on at half-time for Fabian Casado, who's picked up an injury, unfortunately. And then Kwesi's shot at the end of the move kind of let himself down a little bit there. Really should have been able to get that on target, if not into the back of the net. But Ryan Donaldson's going to miss that header in the middle. Van Wolfswinkel's going to link up with Cameron Jerome, and then they're going to play a nice one too with Fabian Fry on the edge of the box, and it's just the sheer power of that shot has taken it past Zabray in goal. The obviously on loan goalkeeper from Swansea has been good for us so far, but unfortunately nothing he could do about that particular effort. Tom Elliott threads it out wide to Jenkins Chikowe, though. Can't quite get his turn in, but we are able to retain possession. Lanzoni stands it up. Tom Elliott with a header, and how many times in previous seasons have we seen him absolutely bury those into the bottom corner, this time high and wide, and that kind of highlights the issue that we mentioned earlier on with the fact that he's just not really cut out for this level. So I will be using James Wilson off the bench we have on loan from Man United more so than I will be Tom Elliott in future games. But Kwesi with another good finish, this time again through the goalkeeper. We saw that in the first game against, no, it was the first goal of the Leyton Orient game, where the goalkeeper started to make a move towards him, and you know, it's just the fact that he took the shot early that caught him out. And again, it was the case there with a powerful shot through the legs of the goalkeeper into the back of the net. We're back on level terms at 1-1, but O'Halloran gives the ball away here. Johnny Howson is going to find a teammate in Lewis Grabban, who will then eventually play it out wide to Langkamp, and they'll play a nice little 1-2 before Grabban gets to turn inside. Space opens up for him, and it's a decent finish to make it Norwich 2, Cambridge 1, with only a matter of minutes to go. 90 seconds left on the clock when they went back in front, and unfortunately that's going to be only our second defeat of the season, and it couldn't have come against a worse, or against a team in worse scenario really, because that's cut our lead at the top from 4 points down to 1, because of course it was first versus second confirmation there that Fabian Casado is going to be out for 3 weeks, unfortunately. So we'll try and do the best we can without him in the side. Hopefully, the other players that are in and around the squad will be able to step up, i.e. James Wilson at Bologna and Tom Elliott. But Kwesi Appiah is still fighting fit, and hopefully he'll be able to continue to put the goals into the back of the net for us, because as you can see, we are top goal scorers in the league with 26, and although we have conceded more goals than a couple of other sides in the top 5 or 6, but we are still top of the league, but only by a point. We're still 4 points inside the automatic places, because QPR, the other team to beat us so far this season, sit 4 points behind us in third. So we're having a good season so far, and like we've mentioned previously, or numerous times previously in this third season, the signings we've made in the summer really have helped to step up to this next level, because if it weren't for those signings, we still had the same squad we had in League One. We would be 16th, 17th rather than 1st or 2nd. So we really have those players to thank for the situation we're in, and of course Kwesi and Casado for the amount of goals they've been putting into the back of the net. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. Apologies for the rather stuttered commentary. I've not been awake long, and I needed to get this commentary done, otherwise you wouldn't have been able to see it, because I was a little bit late in getting it together. But that is going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.